Hey, what's going on? Welcome. I'm RJ. This is The Cave. Thanks for joining me here in RJ's Cave. Quite possibly the most financially challenged guitar-oriented channel in all of YouTube. And the place where today, the word of the day is pedal boards. Sorry to interrupt. RJ from the future here. Listen, I'll try and make this quick. This is an RJ's Cave's 10K subscriber drive giveaway. Yeah. All the info and rules for the contest can be found in giveaway video number 1, along with another way to enter to win. All right, the information, the link is right up here to take you to that. Since you're here, I'll give you the short version. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, watch this video from beginning to end. Find the hidden word or phrase that I put there. Alright, take that hidden word or phrase and put it in a comment below. Alright? That's it. You're done. You're in. And then how long it takes us to reach our goal, or even if we reach our goal, we're going to be posting between 5 and 10 videos for the contest. Each video we post is another possible entry for you guys into the contest. Most entries wins, and ties will be decided by a drawing in the winning announcement video, which is going to come out around 2 weeks after we declare the end of the contest. And this is what we're giving away: the Phoenix Pro PTG11 professional wireless instrument system. How professional is it? Well, right out of the box, it's ready to go into your flight case and out on tour. That professional. And if you want to know more about this thing, just check out our review. It's right up there. Check it out. One last thing. In giveaway video number 1, I have mentioned as a requirement that you need to change your subscriber status from private to visible. This seems to have caused a little confusion for some people, so I've decided to lift that. You no longer need to do that in order for your entry to be valid in the contest, okay? If you'd like to continue to do that, please do, because it does help me go through the process of going through all of these entries. Sorry for the interruption. Please go back to your previously interrupted video, giveaway video number 2. So there was a time, that pedal boards were something that if a guitar player wanted one, they had to go out and make one, right? I mean, that's definitely not the way it is today, but back then, yeah, it was kind of a ritual. So these days, though, if you want a pedal board, all you got to do is just put a couple of words in a search engine, and you get like 150 different listings for pedals, plus all the different parts that make them. So how do you navigate that? Right? So, well, one thing you can do is come here, because you and I are about to take a look over on Amazon, and we're going to find an entry-level pedal board. And we're going to populate it with pedals, the cables that you're going to need to connect everything together, and the power supply to power it all, right? And a carrying case to bring it around town with. So, all right, let's do this. Let's go take a look at Amazon. All right, so rather than getting us started by doing a great big search, right, and having to go through everything and finding something that's like affordable and that's going to work with us, because we are going to keep a maximum price of $200. So instead of like spending all that time looking, I went and I did it earlier, and I put a whole bunch of stuff in my wish list. So we're just going to be looking from my wish list to save everybody time. By the way, know in advance that I am now an Amazon affiliate, so everything here there's going to be a link for in the description below. So if you want to buy it, you can. RJ's Cave does get a small, and I do mean small because it's Amazon, a very small percentage of your purchase price to help us with the channel, and we appreciate that. Okay, so just be up and up, and just so you don't think I'm just trying to milk you guys for money. All right, we need to look for a pedal board and pedals and all that, right? So this is what I found. All right, and this is the least expensive pedal board I could find, and it comes with a bag, and it's actually a pretty good looking bag, right? All right, let's go to the bag some more. Yeah, all right. So it's about almost 18 inches long, right? Neat little thing, right? and the board's almost 16 inches, 15 3/4. So this is a decent setup. You can even go on airplane with it. Look at that. Right? So, and it comes with the Velcro. It's got the board, which is actually metal. So we have this, and it says here in the description that it will fit 6 mini effect pedals or 5 standard size pedals. Now, looking at the measurements, I don't think that quite adds up. So we're going to go with 5. We're going to go with 5 mini pedals. Right? These are the ones we can get on Amazon for the best price. So we're going to go with 5 mini pedals on this board. And we're starting off at $30 for this board. So now we need to power it all. For that, there's a couple different ways we could do things. We can use a power brick, which connects these cables like these, which would be loose for each pedal, or a chain like this, and then would connect to that little transformer box, let's call it, and then that goes connected to the outlet. All right, but that's usually, we don't need that here. We're going with a first board, a small board, so we're using option number 2, which is basically just a very strong AC power adapter. Right, and so this one has cables for 5 pedals. Right? This is normal. This is not like something that's dangerous or anything. This is something that people have been doing for a long time with these kinds of pedals. So this is just one option, and it's the least expensive option, and it's perfectly acceptable, perfectly safe. So we're going to use it. I picked this one because even though it's already on sale for 30% off, so it's $13.99, we're going to get another $1 off at checkout, so that's $12.99. So we're going to round up, that's $13. So now we have this, we have the pedal board, so that's $43 total, because the pedal board's 30, right? So 30, 43, 30 and 13, $43. Right, so the next thing we're going to need is cables to connect everything, right? We know we're going to get 5 pedals, so we need at least 5 patch cables. Well, they sell them very inexpensively here on Amazon under the Amazon Basics brand in a pack of 6. Right? Normally they're about $3-4 a piece. We're getting 6 for $12.54, which we're going to round up to another $13. Right, so another $13 brings us now to $56. All right, so now we have everything that's going to connect everything together, and we have our board. We still need our pedals. We're going to start with a tuner, because I think it's never, you can never have too many tuners, and it's always good to have one on stage that's bright, right? If you're going to play in any kind of like format where you're going to be playing out, like a small club, a party with your friends, or anything, you're going to experience periods where you really can't see that well. And if you need to tune your instrument, that can get difficult. So it's good to have something that's bright. So that's part of the reason I picked this one, just the way it's painted. Another thing that makes this a good candidate is that it is only $20, and right now it has a 10% coupon that you can apply at checkout, which means it is $18. One thing you often find in a 2-channel amplifier is reverb. This is the Movall Reverb mini pedal. Okay. It's a solid, I'm sure it's a solid pedal. It's got a metal box. It's another one of those pedals, like pretty much all the pedals we're going to be looking at. They've been mass produced, and other companies, bunches of companies put their names on it and sell it as their own. And so that, you know, as I said, I think it makes it a decent pedal. This is probably as inexpensive it's going to get. You can see if you like reverb or not. Right? And that's another thing with all these pedals. They're so inexpensive that it makes them easy to take the gamble on if it's a first time trying it, right? Because here's the thing with pedals, they're all copies of better pedals. Okay, I mean it's the honest truth. There are some pedals that get famous for some reason or another, and then they get copied by everybody else. And all that stuff happened 20-30 years ago. At this point in the industry, that's what everybody's got. Right? Everybody's pedals are just kind of a variation on a theme, all right? And it's just a matter of how far away from the original is it at this point. You still have basically what they call clones. And so pedals like this, inexpensive ones, that's basically what they are, because it's cheaper to make a clone than it is to do the work yourself, right? So you're not necessarily going to get a bad pedal. You might get an inferior version of a better pedal, but as a $20 pedal, a $30 pedal, your first pedal, when you're learning how to use that kind of effect, better you wasted this money than you waste $200-300 on a new pedal that, they get expensive. So, but that's also looking at the worst side. The great side about them is that when you find a really inexpensive pedal that does clone its original pedal really well, then you just found like gold. You just found, what they call it, diamond in the rough, and you found it's your secret, So anyway, so this is the reverb pedal that I picked here. This is $30. Now we're at 106. All right. So now another good pedal to have is distortion. Distortion can be different for different people, obviously. If you're a metalhead, you're going to want that thick, heavy distortion that does the palm muting really well. It gets lots of chunkiness, yet still has some brightness to it for leads, right? But then there could be like old school distortions from like the early 80s, which are closer to the fuzz pedals of the 60s in sound. It's kind of like they can be like a middle ground. So you have to consider what you like, what kind of music you prefer, and then you can go out and find the pedal that you like. A good way to start is to find out what the guitar player you follow in that genre uses, and then you can go looking for that pedal or the clones of that pedal, right? So for me, I'm an old school metalhead, so I like Black Sabbath, the Metallica, that kind of stuff. So I like thick, chunky distortion sounds. So I picked this one, hoping that that's what I get. All right. For all I know, it could just be a distortion pedal that makes it more of a Van Halen kind of distortion sound. I don't think that, not with the look of the pedal, but you never know. All right, you get my point on all this with the distortion. So you have to do a little looking around if you want. This is a good metal distortion. This is the one I picked, and it's only another $20. So we were at 106, I think we were just at. So I think that puts us at 126, right? And we now have 1, 2, 3 pedals on our board. So we're gonna go with what we got. We got 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go with the analog delay pedal. Okay, so I think this is our 4th pedal, right? So the delay pedal is basically like an echo, but it happens really fast, right? Basically, when it becomes too fast to be echo, and like a natural echo, that's where delay would kind of take over, more or less. That's the basic idea. You really need to pick one up and play around with it, because when you start playing around with it, you can really get some very psychedelic almost effects. You can very airy, spacey kind of sounds with a delay. And it's a good way to fuel creativity. And a lot of guitar players use it. So if you're going to learn songs, some of them will be using this, and it's good to have. And this one is $20. So you can't really go wrong with that. As long as it's a halfway decent delay, you've won at $20, because usually delay pedals are expensive. This is a noise gate. This pedal just cleans up the noise created from other pedals and from layering one pedal on top of the other. Okay? I generally put this at the end of my chain. The trick with a noise gate is to make sure that you don't overdo it, though, because you can turn up so much that it kills all noise. So your notes die, and you don't want that. So it's a tricky little thing, but it's not hard. You just dial down the threshold until your noise is gone, but you can play comfortably and your notes ring out naturally. And that's it, right? But it's a good thing to have. So we're going to put this one on our board so that the other pedals we use, we can keep our noise under control. And that's our pedal board, all right? So for less than $200, you can set yourself up with a small pedal board that you can learn how to really expand what you're learning on guitar. Don't be afraid to be creative with it, all right? And don't be afraid to consider, I should say be sure, not afraid. Be sure to consider how you lay things out, okay? Like when I lay out my board, I consider that, okay, my tuner is probably going to work best if it's getting my clean tone. So I put it first. And then I consider what I want next. Like right now I have an EQ pedal as my next thing. So I'm deciding there to affect my clean tone with that pedal before I add anything else to it, as opposed to adding that later. And then I go from there. I start then I go into distortion, and then I add the other things on as they seem to make sense to me. And go ahead and do that yourself. And if you find that you're having a little trouble, just look up some stuff here on YouTube. All right. So again, don't be afraid to explore. Don't forget that the links for all the stuff we've discussed and I've shown here are going to be down in the description below. And yes, we do get a small cut. We appreciate it. We're not trying to get rich off anybody. We're just trying to help keep the channel going. And so thank you for that. And don't forget, if you're enjoying yourself here, if you're getting something useful out of this, how about smashing that like button? Consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell too, because when you do that, then you'll know whenever we post a new video, and we'll get to see you more often, all right? So thanks for coming. You've been awesome. I've been RJ. Until the next one, take care.